Welcome back to the Casual GM YouTube channel, and today we're back with another mock draft. Today's mock draft is going to be for the Washington Commanders.
It ain't our ball. It ain't our ball. It ain't our ball. It's our ball, ain't it? It's our ball. Hey!
As we all know, the Commanders just made a big-time trade, trading for Deebo Samuel from the 49ers for a 5th-round pick. As always, we typically do 2 5-round drafts. First draft, we make no trades. The second draft, we typically do trades. But since the Commanders went out and made their own trade and traded away a 5th-round pick, this draft we're going to be doing 2 6-round drafts, and we may or may not make any trades the second draft. But I want to start off by giving the Washington Commanders big-time props for drafting Jaden Daniels last year, number 2 overall out of LSU. He had a great rookie year. He was arguably a top 5 quarterback his rookie year. They lost in the divisional round, the divisional championship round to the Eagles. But it was still a great year. They went farther than they've went in, I think, probably like 2 decades, if not. This is the first real hope the Commanders had. They really turned around the organization last year. And this year, they're going to be looking to go all the way this year and compete for a championship. So what this draft is going to be trying to do is set them up in the best way possible, go out and compete for a championship. So this draft is not based off free agency. So they could go out there and make big-time moves in free agency, or they could go out there and do nothing. I do want to go over the big-time free agents, though, that will be possibly on the market that they could lose this year. So let's look at the free agents real quick. First, you have Bobby Wagner. You have Marcus Mariota. You have Jeremy Chin, KJ Osborne. He didn't really play that much this year. Tressway punter. Zach Ertz could be a really big time free agent. Jaden Daniels really brought back to life his career this year. He had a really good year for him. He was like Jaden Daniels' safety blanket. So I really hope they bring him back. Some other names. I mean, some offensive linemen I don't really think played that much. Who else you got? You got St. Juice cornerback. You got Zacchaeus, who had a solid year. Diami Brown had a really good year with the Commanders. Jaden Daniels and him really had a good connection. I don't remember Jamison Crowder playing that much for the Commanders this year. You got Noah Brown, Jeff Driscoll, Jeremy McNichols. He played solid. Zane Gonzalez kicker. So they're probably going to need to address their punter and kicker this year in free agency. I think the days of people drafting them outside the top 5 rounds, inside the top 5 rounds is over. Who else? Mikael Walker, John Bates, another tight end. Chris Rodriguez Jr. Yeah, that's pretty much all the notable free agents they could lose this year. They could bring these guys back. Dante Fowler Jr. I don't know if I said his name. That's definitely a big time free agent. He had a really good year with Commanders this year. But yeah, these are some of the names that they could lose. Next year they could let Deebo Samuel walk or get off his contract if they needed to. Like, they took him on for a 5th-round pick, so that's good. They have the cap space this summer to go make some big-time moves outside of just getting Deebo Samuel. So they could eat his contract and go still make some other big-time moves. Or they could just bring some of these guys back. We'll yet to see. This draft isn't based off of who they will bring back. Just assume that whoever we draft, if it doesn't solve a position of need, then that position of need will get solved in free agency by them. So yeah, let's get into this draft and start. All right, in the draft. All right, start draft. All right, the Washington Commanders are on the board with a 29th overall pick in the 1st round. So Michael Williams, edge rusher from Georgia, is here. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and state this. So the top 4 needs for the Commanders, according to PFF. I always make this clear in my videos, according to PFF. So if you don't agree with these position of needs, they are not my position of needs for the Commanders. They are PFF's position of needs. So they have wide receiver, tackle, edge rusher, and cornerback. Now, wide receiver, since they got Deebo Samuels, I think I'm gonna put on the back burner. I'm not saying I'm not gonna draft a wide receiver, but if I draft a wide receiver, it'll probably be in the 4th or 6th round. But I don't think I'm gonna take one in the top 3 rounds unless it's too good to pass up. They definitely need tackle, offensive line help. Edge rusher, they definitely need help there, and cornerback, they definitely need help. Sanders Steele, I think that's how you pronounce his name, had a really good year out of Michigan this year for them. So that's really promising that they could maybe develop cornerbacks because the last couple cornerbacks they drafted did not pan out that well. All right, so we're up on the board now. I really like Omar and Hampton. I don't think they need running back in the first round type. I don't even think they need running back that bad to draft him in the first round. Colston Loveland, if you let Zach Ertz walk, Colston Loveland, it's a great replacement, and he could grow with Jada Daniels. But I think I might just take Mason Taylor in like the second or third round if I'm gonna go get a tight end, somebody who already has like a connection with Jada Daniels. So Michael Williams, edge rusher, that's a really good pick right there. Jalen Walker, linebacker, could lose Bobby Wagner, but Jalen Walker's more of like he's more of like an outside linebacker, more like a pass rush type linebacker, not middle linebacker. Yeah, Gray Zabel. I really like Gray Zabel. He's very versatile tackle out of North Dakota State. He really looked good at the Senior Bowl. Show he could play multiple positions. I think at the Senior Bowl he played center, guard, and tackle. In college, we know he played tackle. You got Josh Conley Jr., T.J. Sanders, Tyler Williams. Yeah. So to me, this comes down to Michael Williams and Gray Zabel right here at this pick for the Washington Commanders. Let's look at Michael Williams production real quick. Had a 78.4 overall grade this year. A 78.7 grade. Had 5 sacks this year, 6 last year, 6 the year before that. Let's look. 82 run defense, 265. I don't know. I like Williams, but I think they need offensive line more than they need. This is a deep edge rush class, so you could get great edge rushers in probably the second or third round this year, maybe even the fourth round. So I think we're gonna take Gray Zabel here on tackle from North Dakota State. I think just putting a good offensive line around J.D. Daniels and not relying on him to bail you out so much, just the best thing to do this year. I think it's the best way to make that offense even better this year, and just extend his career, put him in less of risk of injuries and stuff. I think that's the number one. I think that's the number one thing teams should do whenever they draft a young quarterback, especially when they see that young quarterback is a franchise level quarterback. Like the whole reason, like the Bengals have been so up and down over the years is because their offensive line was so bad that you was putting Joe Burrow, who plays well despite the offensive line, but puts him in such injury situations. Puts him in so many situations where he could get injured. So we take a Gray Zabel here with the 29th overall pick in the first round. The Commanders could use interior D lineman also because it did give Jonathan Allen permission to go seek a trade. So they could be losing him also. We don't know the trade compensation they might get back for a guy like him. So that's who I think that's going to be the trade that we make in this second draft coming up is we're going to trade Jonathan Allen. So I don't think we're going to address interior D lineman need in this draft unless it's a flat out slam dunk pick. But in the next draft, we'll definitely address that, and we definitely trade Jonathan Allen. So we got Jared Ivey, edge rusher, Ariante Ursay, Azari Thomas. I really like Azari Thomas. He's solid cornerback. I could see Benjamin Morris is an interesting player here because he has first round grades, but because of his injury and the concerns with his hip, I think he had a hip injury this year. He's gonna fall in this draft probably to the second, maybe even third round. I don't really think he's gonna make it to the third round, me personally, because I think the upside of if you get a healthy Benjamin Morris is you're getting like a top 15 player in this draft. So we could take him here. Let's look at some of these other players. You know, Travion Henderson, Mason Taylor. The next pick is at 79. I think Mason Taylor will be there at 79. So I don't think I'm gonna take him here. Yeah, Joshua Farmer, Kevin Winston Jr. Ooh, right now, to me, it's between Azaria Thomas and Benjamin Morris. Now the safe pick here is Azaria Thomas, but getting a possible steal of the draft pick here is definitely Benjamin Morrison. So Uh this is tough right here. I think I'm gonna go with Thomas because they're trying to win a championship. Like their championship window has already started. Once you figure out who your franchise quarterback is, your championship window kind of starts right away. Especially because you want to win one on his rookie deal. So I'm gonna pick Azari Thomas. I think there's less risk there. He can come in, play right away. You don't gotta wait on see how he bounced back from a major injury like a hip injury. And yeah, so let's take Thomas here with the 61st pick in the NFL draft. All right, now we're back on the board with the 79th pick. Oh, Mason Taylor got drafted. Dang it. I really wanted Mason Taylor for the Commanders. But we're back up on the board. Terrence Ferguson, tight end, is available. You got Jordan Phillips, Kevin Winston Jr. I really like that pick right here, especially since you could lose Jeremy Chin, DJ Giddens, Jalen Noel, wide receiver. Really like him. Jalen Royals, Wyatt Milam, Tate Radlett, Savion Williams. He's kind of like Deebo Samuels in a sense. So I would low key like to draft him because just to see that. But this coming having two repetitive type players, and like I said, I don't think I'm taking a wide receiver in the top 3 rounds. You got Latham Ransom, Jeffrey Bossa, Charles Grant, Anthony Belton, Taz Johnson, Harold Fannin Jr. Now, hear me out now. Harold Fannin Jr. I feel like you take Harold Fannin Jr. and you bring back Zach Ertz, kind of like a two tight end system, two completely different types of tight ends also, and I think that would give teams real problems right there. They're picking 148. I don't think Harold Fannin is going to be there at 148, but Kevin Winston Jr. also is not going to be there at 148. I think this will be a little bit maybe a reach if we take a Harold Fannin Jr. right here. So I think I'm gonna go with Kevin Winston Jr. safety out of Penn State. I think that's your Jeremy Chin replacement, right there, and he has a really great upside. Played really well at Penn State. So that's what we're gonna do right here in the 3rd round with the 79th pick, Kevin Winston Jr. Now, if Harold Fannin Jr. is there at 148, which I already know he's not gonna be, that would that'd have made this perfect draft. Now he just got taken. That would have made this the perfect draft. I think with this pick, I'm probably gonna go edge rusher, probably if a good one is available. So we took corner, taking tackle, taking a safety. Let's see who. A lot of running backs available. They could take a running back. I don't think they. I'm not gonna say I don't think they will because they use a lot of running backs, and they could definitely take a run. I can see them taking a running back. Toby King, linebacker, Upton Stout, Nick Nash, O'Donnell Fortin. He's a really good corner. I like. John Joyner from Minnesota. This might be where we take running back or take wide receiver right here, actually. Benjamin Yorsak, tight end. Jake Brendan-Stool, tight end. He's a really big tight end. He's more of a receiving tight end also from Clemson. Had let me see, had 531 yards this year, 498 last year. Like 6'6", 240. Like he's a receiving tight end, but it doesn't have like crazy production. Like 531 is pretty good, but still. Quincy Riley, cornerback. If we didn't already take cornerback, that would be a good pickup right here. Kyle Williams, wide receiver. I really like him. Let me see. Actually, I see a player down here that I really like. I do like Tonka Hemingway from South Carolina. That would solve the interior D lineman issue. And just looking at the players above, I think this is a good pick right here. Tonka Hemingway for South Carolina. I think it's always a position of need, a position that at least we know they probably will need. And yeah, I think it makes more sense than just taking a running back. All right, back on the board at 206 in the 6th round. Got Caleb Ransaw for Tulane. I think he ran a really good 40. Brian Cook, a lot of like low end quarterbacks here. Nas Frazier guard, Jay Higgins linebacker. I really like that pick. Ricky White, wide receiver. Top Fenton, solid at the combine. Yeah, it's just not really like Jimmy Horn Jr. I think that could be a nice pickup right here. Wide receiver, Samuel Brown, Will Shepard, LeJontay Wester. I really like LeJontay Wester, man. He really had great production this year on Colorado. I think he's a very versatile player. He could definitely be a special teamer right away for the Commanders. Um, Ty Robinson, D line also. But we already took Tonka Hemingway. Like taking two, I don't think they take two interior D linemen. The way he ran though at the combine, he could probably play on the edge a little bit also. And also in this day and age with interior D linemen, at least we saw with the Eagles, you could swap them in and out. The Eagles had like a solid 3, 4 good interior D linemen that they just rotated in and out. Who they had? Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. Who else? I feel like I'm missing a name. But yeah, they just had those guys and they rotated them in and out. So having 3 good interior D linemen isn't an issue. Like that could be something you do, rotate them in and out. So LeJontay Wester, Ty Robinson, like I feel like this is a tough. Let me know in the comments who y'all would pick right here. Me personally, I think we're gonna go LeJontay Wester because the special teams aspect. I think he could come in and be a special teamer right away and try to work his way up the depth chart receiving wise. And yeah, I like his speed and all that. So we're going LeJontay Wester, wide receiver from Colorado, right here, with a 206 pick in the 6th round. All right, so we just got our grade. They're saying we should have taken Jalen Noel over Kevin Winston Jr. Like I said, if they didn't get Deebo Samuels, I probably would have did that in the draft. But because wide receiver isn't the most pressing need right now, I waited till later on in the draft to draft a wide receiver. And I think safety could be a need. They definitely their defense has to get better. Like their defense was okay at times last year. They were kind of bend but don't break type defense. But their defense definitely needs more talent and needs to get better. So we took Kevin Winston Jr. So looking at this draft, the first pick we took Gray Zabel. Then the second pick we took Azari Thomas. The third round pick we took Kevin Winston Jr., who I think is a position need that they're gonna need this year. Then the 5th round we took Tonka Hemingway. They gave us an F grade for that, but I don't really care about PFF grades per se because they aren't always up to date on what teams need or how a draft will play out. So, they aren't taking into consideration that Jonathan Allen could get traded or moved away. So that would probably become a position of need for them whenever that happens. But it hasn't happened yet, so it's not a need in their database yet. Then in the 6th round, we took LeJontay Wester, a guy who could come in, play special teams right away, hopefully work his way up the depth chart and be a solid wide receiver for them. And yeah, so we got a B grade overall in this draft. We about to head on to the next draft. Let me know what y'all think about this draft. What picks did y'all like? What picks did y'all did not like? And what picks that y'all would have made, especially between that Ty Robinson and LeJontay Wester pick. All right, so we're back here with our second draft. Like I said, this draft we're gonna be doing some trades, and like I said in the last draft, I think we're gonna be trading Jonathan Allen here. So Jonathan Allen is worth around some of the stuff I looked at. It's worth around like a 4th, the 5th round pick. I think the Commanders they said gonna be looking to try to get like 2 picks from him, from trading him. So I'm gonna see if I can get a 4th round pick this year and like a 5th or 6th round pick next year. So that's the end of this draft. And so most of the teams they're saying gonna be main team that's gonna be looking at getting Jonathan Allen is the Arizona Cardinals. So we're probably just gonna trade him to the Arizona Cardinals. Probably gonna have to force the trade. I ain't really trying to haggle with the CPU on how to get a trade done. We just wanted to make a trade and make this draft a lot more entertaining and get some more picks for the Washington Commanders. So let's start this draft. Man, and I think a 4th or 5th round pick is a really good value for Jonathan Allen. He is expensive interior D lineman, so I mean that could factor in how much his value is worth. Same way it factored in with Deebo Samuels. All right, so let's go to the Commanders and make this trade. Not Commanders. Let's go to the Cardinals and make this trade. So the 4th rounder this year, so that 114 pick, and 5th rounder. I probably say a 6th rounder next year if we get a 4th this year. So a 6th rounder next year. We just gonna give them Jonathan Allen. Okay, y'all still do have Darren Payne, another good interior offensive lineman. They're gonna offer this trade. They accepted that trade, so that seems like a very realistic trade for them. All right, let's go back to the draft board. All right, so we up here at 29th in the 1st round, and Shamar Stewart is here, edge rusher from Texas A&M. Very interesting pick right there. Ray Zabel is here. So some of the same names that we saw in last draft are still here. Nick Scorton is here. He wasn't here last draft. I really like him. So you do need interior D lineman now, and a guy like Tyleek Williams, I really like him from Ohio State. Had 3 sacks, 2 sacks. Not the greatest pass rush guy, but that's the whole thing with him. Like, people are gonna draft him because he's gonna be kind of like Jordan Davis, great against the run early on, and they're just gonna hope to try to develop that pass rush from him. I don't think I'm gonna do that for the Commanders. I think they need some more pass rush. I think they need to be able to get after quarterbacks. I like DJ Sanders. I think he's a little more polished than Tyleek Williams. Maybe not the highest upside as Tyleek Williams, but I definitely think he's more polished. See, he's at 81.9 against the run. 81.9 pass rush grade, 77 run defense grade. Had 5 sacks this year, 5 sacks last year, 19 hurries. 6'4", 290. I really like TJ Sanders here from South Carolina. Who else we got? Let's look at Shamar Stewart real quick. Those Texas A&M edge rushers are like, it kind of scare me a little bit because they're on the field production. I don't see it on the field production wise compared to like where they're ranked in this draft. Like they're expected to go in the 1st round, early 2nd round, but you look at their production. I mean, at least let's just say sacks. Sacks wise, they don't have that production, but they do have great hurries. Like Shamar Stewart has 33 hurries, 6'6", 290. Like dude's a physical freak. He's just a junior, so he's still young, can still develop and become more balanced. Nick Scorton had 4 sacks this year, 8 sacks last year, 28 hurries both years. 6'4", 285. Also a junior, even younger than Shamar Stewart. Right here. This is tough. I really like TJ Sanders though. I feel like they need edge rush more than interior D lineman. So right here, this is tough. I think I'm gonna go Nick Scorton from Texas A&M right here. I'm gonna go with him over Shamar Stewart. I think the production was just a little bit more there this year. Yeah, let's draft him. All right, so we got the edge rushing need covered. All right, back up on the board, Elijah Aurora from Alabama. I mean, not Alabama, from Miami. He's a very interesting tight end. He's really rising up the boards. He's jumped Harold Fanner Jr. He's very athletic, very fast tight end also. Like he's the receiving type of tight ends that we're starting to see coming in the league every single year. Ariante Irsay, that can solve the tackle need right there. Kennard, Benjamin Morris, Donovan Jackson could also solve the tackle need. Mason Taylor's here. Looking at all these offensive linemen, I think there's going to be another offensive lineman there at pick 79. So now it comes down to, do I take Elijah Aurora right here, or do I take Mason Taylor? We do have one trade offer. It's from Kansas City. They're trying to trade 63rd pick. Yeah, why not just trade back? Let's trade back real quick. So we get 63 from Kansas City. They get the 61st pick. And what? 250. They're gonna give us pick 256. But they ain't trading up that far, so they're just trading up 2 spots. All right, so we got that trade done. Zoom draft. Yeah, a lot of Aurora got taken. I say we take Mason Taylor here. LSU, tight end from LSU. This is a bit high for Mason Taylor, but I don't know if he's going to be there at 79 for them. And I think they do need a tight end. I think Mason Taylor played with Jaden Daniels, so that's definitely going to have a lot of chemistry come with it, especially since you might lose Zach Ertz, who had good chemistry with Jaden Daniels. So, yeah, we take a Mason Taylor here. A little bit of an overdraft, but I think considering all the context behind why I'm doing this draft pick, I think it'll be worth it. And we back up on the board, 79th. Kevin Winston Jr., Jalen Noel, Marcus Membo, Jonas Savannah, Wyatt Milam, West Virginia. I really like Wyatt Milam. I think he's very versatile tackle, play multiple positions. Marcus Membu is also nice, but he's a little bit lighter on the tackle side. Like he's not the heaviest. So I think we're gonna take Wyatt Milam here from West Virginia. It's all that tackle need. We taking tight end, we taking edge rusher, we taking tackle. Now we need cornerback and possibly a wide receiver. All right, back up here at pick 114. Got CJ West, Meets Pebbles, Mello Dotson, Byron Sorrell, JJ Pegues, Jaden Blue halfback. Just looking at some of these players, I thought some better players might be here at 114. I really like Noah Williams out of Cal at cornerback. I think that could be the pick we go right here. Mello Dotson is also solid out of Kansas. Let's look at his grade real quick. So Mello Dotson had a 77 grade this year. Had gave up 498 yards. Had 4 touchdowns this year. So he 5 interceptions, 4 touchdowns this year. Hey, he's a ball hawk. On 78 coverage grade, on 75.8 zone coverage grade, 74 man coverage grade. He's 6'1", 190, so he has great size. All right, let's look at Noah Williams right here. He had a really good Senior Bowl to me. 80 grade this year, 7 interceptions this year, 3 touchdowns. Only gave up 350 yards, 78.2 coverage grade, 78.7 run grade, 67.7 man coverage grade. So you would like him to get better man coverage. 6'1", 200. So he's a little bit bigger, at least weight wise. I really like Noah Williams out of Cal right here. I think that's the pick we're going to take right here. We pick 114 in the 4th round. So we back up on the board here at 148 in the 5th round. And you got Tyler Batty here. I really like Tyler Batty. That could be definitely a player we take right here. Johnny Cornelius, I also like him, tackle. Roger Huzzy. Yes, I'm on Barrow. Obi King. Yeah, I really like Tyler Batty right here. Like, and it can definitely take 2 edge rushers, I think, in this draft. I think Tyler Batty also has the potential to play inside also as well as outside. So I think we're going to take Tyler Batty from BYU right here. I feel like this was an easy pick to make. This is another edge rusher to add to the team. All right, back up on the board. We're pick 206 in the 6th round. This is our last pick of this draft. Just looking at some of the players. Cam Horsley. Not many big name players like Could go wide receiver here. Jimmy Horn Jr. Will Shepard, LeJohntay Wester, like I did inside last time. Ty Robinson. I feel like this is the draft we take Ty Robinson. It needed interior D lineman. We haven't drafted that this draft. Like I said, we got rid of Jonathan Allen. Ty Robinson tested well at the combine. Looked pretty smooth out there. 6th round pick. I feel like this is a slam dunk pick right here. We're gonna take Ty Robinson in the 6th round out of Nebraska. All right, so we got our grade. This draft, they're saying we should have taken Benjamin Morris over Mason Taylor. Like I said, last draft, I understand taking Benjamin Morris. I wouldn't be opposed if the Commanders did it. I'm just saying his injury, like having a hip injury, is big. Like that's a big no-no at any position, but especially at cornerback. Now I just don't know. They haven't really got all the full reports back on him, and I think Mason Taylor, considering that they're going to need a tight end because they might lose Zach Ertz. Mason Taylor history with Jaden Daniels. I think we could see something that's a little similar to, like on the lower end, something like Jamar Chase on Joe Burrow situation happened. And I think that's just why I took that pick, why I reached a little bit on Mason Taylor. I think he really looked good at the combine also. So in the 1st round, we took Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M. Saw some of that edge rusher issues. Then we made a trade in the 2nd round where we traded back like 2 picks with the Kansas City Chiefs, and we picked up an extra 7th round pick, which we didn't use in this draft because it's only a 6th round draft. But with that pick, we took Mason Taylor. On that 2nd round pick, we took Mason Taylor. Then we took Wyatt Milam, tackle out of West Virginia. And like we did at the beginning of the draft, we did trade Jonathan Allen away for a 4th round pick this year and a 6th round pick next year. With that 4th round pick, we took Noah Williams, cornerback from Cal. Then 5th round, we took edge rusher Tyler Batty. And then in the 6th round, we took Ty Robinson from Nebraska. So we got a B grade this draft. Like I said, I want to know from the fans, what do y'all think of these 2 drafts? Which one do you think is better? Which one do y'all like? What picks do y'all like? What picks do y'all dislike? What picks would y'all have done differently? Like who would y'all have taken? What players? I want to hear everything that y'all have to say about this draft. And we do have this draft is a part of a multi-series where we're doing all 32 NFL teams, and this is like draft I think 9 or 10. We've done the Steelers, we've done the Giants, we've done the Browns, we've done the Eagles, we've done the Chiefs, the Falcons, a bunch of teams so far. Go check those videos out. They should be popping up at the end of this video. I did just do a video on NFL free agency and what teams have the most money to spend. Watch the Commanders was in that video. I think they had like the 3rd or 4th most money to spend. And I just looked at some of the players that they could pick up in free agency, which if they pick up some of those players, could definitely change the way they draft in this year. So definitely check out that video. That should be popping up also. Yeah, and just stay tuned for the next video. Let me know what other teams I would like to see me do.
It ain't our ball. It ain't our ball. It ain't our ball. It's our ball, ain't it? It's our ball. Hey!